What's going on, everyone? This is Deke back with another So Rare video. First off, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody, the amazing support from other creators, everything, from top to bottom. I just started getting back into content after my son was born, getting after it. As you can see, we're getting some nice size views. I mean, my goalkeeper video hit over 1K views, which I can't even imagine that. Subscribers, we're almost at 400. I appreciate all the support, and again, every video, if you guys can like, subscribe, that's amazing for me, for everything. So, getting into what this video is about is in my next series. So, I have a lot of series rolling. If we take a look at our playlist here, we have New to So Rare. I'm doing some videos of that. So Rare Wonder Kids, and this is the updated version. That's what I'm going through. And now our next one is going to be on under 23 goalkeepers from the MLS. So this series is going to go through goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and forwards. That's basically all the scouting that I've been doing. I've posted some polls on Twitter just to see where other people are at, and I'm kind of going through my squad. So the first player that I want to talk about is a guy that doesn't have cards. So whenever new cards are minted, this guy is going to be the guy to get as far as So Rare. So this is Georgie Petrovic, and he's for the Revolution here for New England. And if you take a look at his scores, so again, he doesn't have cards. He has some really nice scores here, and should be kind of the most sought after keeper as far as under 23 in the MLS. I am going to give you a bunch of different ones here, but he is going to be the highest price of any of the guys as far as I'm concerned. So I'm very interested whenever cards come out. He has another year of under 23 eligibility as well, so he is through June 30th of 2024, and that's going to be another huge part of this. So as a guy who doesn't plan on buying him, I hope they release the cards later than earlier as far as that, unless I win him. So then I'd be super excited. So how I'm going to break this down is he's the guy who doesn't have a card yet. The next guy are going to be starters, so a set of guys, and then backups with upside, young guys that maybe down the line, maybe not this year, down the line could be interesting. Next guy is Chris Brady for the Chicago Fire. So Slonina was the guy, and he moved to Chelsea. So Chris Brady steps up. He is under 23 eligibility until 2028. See, his prices there are quite expensive. But if you're in the limited market, just around $100 isn't crazy for other goalies. His price should keep rising. Just taking a look at the .643 recent, obviously the floor is much higher. Whenever I was kind of going through and I did not end up buying him, I thought about buying him. The youth is great there, but I think Chicago is going to concede a decent amount. He started the last match of the season there, 53.2, in conceding one goal against New England. So he is definitely interesting. That under 23 until 2028 is crazy, and he should be this spot-on guy. I don't really see anyone taking over for him. Slonina, if he gets loaned back, which I doubt that's going to happen, and I don't really see any other rumors of any other guys. He should be the guy, so if you're looking for a keeper that is super young and ready to roll, it would be Chris Brady. Next one is the guy who I bought. So you can see there I did buy his 2020 card. It's Thomas Hasal, and he plays for Vancouver, in which it can be a leaky defense at times. Let's take a look at his scores. So he started at the end of the year there. So as far as some high scores, he had 81 in a shutout against Austin. They do concede some shots. He doesn't have super crazy scores that were, upper echelon, but he is really solid. I went with him because he's a Canadian international. He was in the squad for the World Cup, which is very interesting, and he does have that extra year, 2024, to get into that. So I paid around 0.6 for him. Current, I think that might have been mine, but yeah, about 0.648. Current floor 0.7. If you're looking 0.07, about where the Brady was going for. So as far as his first matchups, I was kind of looking at Salt Lake is a good matchup as far as previous year. MLS changes from time to time at the Earthquakes. The other reason is CONCACAF Champions League. He plays Real Espana, and I Vancouver will probably get bounced pretty early, so you don't really want to judge just on that. But he's a guy that he's a starter in the league, and he's the guy that I rolled with. The other guy that I was kind of looking at is FC Cincinnati's Roman Celentano. So a little bit leaky on the defensive side as well. You see his price there, more expensive, but I ended up going the Whitecaps side. You can see he has some upside scores. I did own his under 23 limited at maybe a couple months ago, but he had some nice upside here, 81 here, and that great 6-0 win. And he is the locked-on starter, so there's no kind of doubt about it. He's the guy. Will they bring someone else in? I really doubt it in terms of the future, and he has under 23 eligibility until 2025, so that's probably why his price is a little bit higher than the last guy. The last starter, who this is kind of, I'm assuming he's starters. He's the starter, so a little bit of competition here. So if we take a look at the keepers here, the other guy is Melia. Tim Melia. It says muscle injury. He's 36 years old. He is contracted through 2024, so it's interesting. Last season, as you can see here, he was injured, but he wasn't doing very well as far as so rare. He had some high scores, but then it was just he's conceding every single match. With Sporting KC having a lot of injuries, I think they'll be much better this year. And if we can go back to Pulse Comp, he's 21. He's through 2025. A lot of guys are kind of high on him as far as just kind of in the community. The slight issue with will he start, will he not start is built into that price. He is cheaper than the other guys. That's why I didn't kind of go that route. I want a starter. I was really hoping I would, get a starter out of this. And 0.457, if you're in the rare market and you have a little bit to play with, that's not the worst price in the world. If he starts, I assume that's going to, raise up to at least 0.6, in my opinion, if not a little bit higher. Especially if, Sporting KC gets into some good form. I think that price is very affordable if you're in a bigger market territory there. 0.04 for the limited as well. Not the worst stash in the world. All right, so those guys are all starters, my peg starters as far as that. These guys, as far as the MLS, it's really hard to see who that next guy is going to be. So the next three guys are backups who are extremely risky, but I'm taking a shot at them and, could it pay off in the future? Yes. Could they go to zero? Probably not, just because they're so young and they have some room to grow. So first one is going to be Emi Ochoa. He's 17 years old, under 23 eligibility until 2029. So he is with the Earthquakes. Marcinkowski is the starter there. You see his price here. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. So a lot of people are really high on him. Several people on Twitter I know have him in their galleries that I've followed as far as MLS guys. And Marcinkowski is the guy. I have heard today a rumor just came out about Daniel from Internacional coming in to be the backup. So this kind of, I think Daniel's 28. So he would kind of go into the second, the backup role. And then third keeper would be Emi here. So he is interesting. He has 100K value on Transfer Market, 3 under 19 USA caps, which makes it interesting as well. And Marcinkowski hasn't been in the greatest form as far as so rare and conceding goals. So could he, make the crazy jump? Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but in a couple years, maybe whenever he turns 20. If you're one of the guys that like to buy in early and then kind of hold on, boy, if he could get in the starting lineup, his prices would absolutely just skyrocket. So while it's very expensive, $0.16, $200 for a rare, I think the upside's there. This isn't quite a buy low opportunity, though, is the only issue with this. Let's just take a look at, the price graph. You could have gotten him forever, but he is on that steady increase. Now, if you buy him at this price, I think the worst case scenario is maybe it drops down to like 0.08, 0.1 if he goes a year without starting. But I really like the prospects of Emi Ochoa. Next one is a guy that he could have a little bit of a better opportunity. Right now, he is the backup, Abraham Rodriguez, for Colorado. And the Rapids only have two keepers, as far as I know, on the salary cap. So, as far as his price, it is very cheap. I am kind of looking, after I make my team, I might pick one of the goaltenders up as far as the rare cards, just as a maybe, down the road, kind of a stash. As far as Abraham Rodriguez, he played in Colorado too, their second squad last year. His transfer market is 175,000, so a decent, upside there. He came through the Rapids Academy, so he has been part of the program. They're building him up. He's through the academy, and as far as the starter, Yarbrough is in the last year of his contract, and he is 33 years old. So if they wanted to go the young route, maybe next year could be in the 21-year-old range for under 23 through 2027, and it could be a guy that, okay, 0.05 here. This is a buy low. As far as a guy that currently is a backup, could they sign someone? Sure, but he's currently a backup and he could get his shot. So as far as that, I have not. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is just me talking, but I should, as long as I can build my team how I want it for America under 23, I will be getting into that market. And then the last guy here, another long shot 17-year-old, is Gavin Beavers. So for Real Salt Lake, he's a guy that has 75K value on transfer market. He debuted for the under-19 USA team in June, so he is on that radar. And Zach McMath is the starter. He is a backup. But if we take a look here, he is under contract till the end of 2023 this year. So will he get extended? I would think he would get extended as far as his, transfer market value, things like that. He is another guy who is super young. This is a down the line. But if you look at his price, he only has 27 rares, so this could build into this. He's a little bit more expensive on the rare side than, I would like to pay for him. But another guy with upside in the MLS. And as far as the MLS, it's tough to find those young keepers unless it's like a wonder kid guy that kind of has a huge breakout. So these last couple guys, I try to just be in the mindset of, if some things happen, could a breakout happen? And as far as Beavers, yes, he has a decent amount, especially being a backup right now. He's not two things have to happen for him to be the keeper. He is definitely in one injury away, really, as far as being a starter. And if McMath doesn't do well, he could, join the squad, and why not down the road in 2 years? If you're thinking long-term on Sarah and you're into long-term investing and not really worried about locking some up, wouldn't be the worst play in the world. So, again, thanks for watching. That is a under 23 MLS video as far as just the goalkeepers. We'll do defenders next with a couple high-end, low-end, and some stash options. And this will be a series, so I'll put the playlist together. So, again, thanks for watching, and next video will be my Wonder Kids video, and we will be moving on to the next position, so the last defensive position, which we should be talking about right backs or left back. I can't remember which one we're on. So, last defensive position there. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, and we'll catch you later. See ya.